but most recently we established the Future Ready Iowa initiative, which sets the goal of having 70% of Iowans in the workforce have either education or training beyond high school by 2025. That includes 2 and 4 year apprenticeships as well, and other credentials and experiences that are valid to Iowa employers. We know that work-based learning and registered apprenticeships in particular will be a key strategy that will help us achieve that goal that we've set. I also believe that registered apprenticeships are simply an answer to a lot of important questions being asked by employers and businesses. The registered apprenticeship system provides opportunities for Iowans seeking high-skilled, high-paying jobs, and for business and industry to seek and build out a more qualified workforce. Individuals can gain the skills through nationally recognized certification while earning income, and even more importantly, often avoiding mountains of crushing debt. I believe that the work-based learning can empower Iowans with the skills that they need for the rewarding careers and grow the talent pipeline for Iowa's employers so that they can expand and innovate. Since the enactment of the Iowa Apprenticeship Act of 2014, I am really proud to say that Iowa has developed a robust apprenticeship program by tripling the funding available for registered apprenticeships, and we remain committed to that growth. To celebrate this week and highlight the importance of registered apprenticeships, I'm inviting Iowans who are exploring career opportunities to take a good hard look at what a registered apprenticeship program can offer. A paycheck that not only increases as your skills increase, it provides benefits, career advancement, industry issued and nationally recognized credentials, just to name a few. So this week I'll be on the road to see the growth Iowa is experiencing. And first I'll be at the Anamosa State Penitentiary, seeing firsthand the apprenticeship programs that are helping offenders build vocational skills that will help them be employable upon their reentry. That's in every one of our correctional institutions. It's a great program, and I'm really looking forward to visiting and hearing firsthand offenders that are taking place in that program. I'll also be visiting the Mid-American Energy Training Facility to see the skills gained through the apprenticeship or journeyman by the apprentice or the journeyman while they study the craft. You'll hear Josh talk about his experience with Mid-American and the skills that he is learning that will give him a jump start on a successful and rewarding career. Then on Thursday, I'll be touring Service Legends and see their 4-year leadership development apprenticeship program, what it takes to be on their team, and what apprentices bring to the company's success. And lastly, I plan to visit Central Campus, which has a high-quality pre-apprenticeship program, to see a premier regional academy to advance career skills via a partnership with private industry, again, to just help prepare students for career success. So Greer Sisson from the Department of Labor is going to have an opportunity to tell you about the growth that we've seen in Iowa and information on a recent Department of Labor grant that Iowa won. I'm really proud about that. But first, I want to give Josh Smith an opportunity to tell his story and really to share his perspective on how the registered apprenticeship program is helping him grow his skills. So Josh?
Good morning, Lieutenant Governor and fellow guests. I'm Josh Smith, and I'm a senior at Central Campus in Des Moines. I'm very happy to be with you today. Thank you for allowing me to share about my awesome experience in the welding program at Central Campus. I've been there for 2 years now. Both years have been amazing, high quality teaching. Under Mr. Young, I have learned confidence in my welding skill and kind of ways to challenge myself to further develop my knowledge on the skill. Central Campus has prepared me for a life of great earning potential. Beyond the very important technical skills of welding, I have learned great work ethic and ways to work with a team towards a common goal of finishing a project. I am proud and grateful to be working as a welder with Mid-American Energy. Other classmates have been placed with other companies like U.S. Contractors and U.S. Erectors. The chance for us to apply our skills, earn more on-the-job training, and getting paid while I learn is something students all should have. That's a very important thing. After I graduate, I plan to work with Mid-American and further my skills in that trade. And I also hope to one day pass on my knowledge to another generation that wants to learn the trade skills. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Reynolds, for supporting programs like Central Campus and allowing me to share with you and Iowans today.
Thank you. I'm Greer Sisson with U.S. Department of Labor Office of Apprenticeship, and I cannot think of a better way to kick off the National Apprenticeship Week than to be here with Lieutenant Governor Reynolds and this administration. And I have to say, something that you did leave out was that Governor Branstad and yourself are the first and the only in the nation who've been recognized as leaders in Apprenticeship USA with the National Apprenticeship. So congratulations on that. I always like to mention that. I'm very proud of it. So registered apprenticeship in Iowa has been growing. A large thanks, and I always want to say this to your administration, who has seen the value in registered apprenticeship. It's an earn as you learn. A lot of people think that apprenticeship in itself is just confined to the construction trades, and that is, it is in the construction trades, but it's also in agriculture. It is also in advanced manufacturing. It is also in IT. It is also in hospitality. It is also in healthcare. And all of those industries and occupations we're exploring in Iowa, and we have a very good support system through economic development, our workforce development offices, Department of Education, our high schools that we're now bringing on who are doing youth programs and registered apprenticeship programs, our prison industries who are seeing that one way to reduce that recidivism is to train people while they're incarcerated to get out, have those skills, to have those national certifications. And registered apprenticeship, very simply put, is an employment training first program. It allows businesses in any occupation, in any industry, to be able to train their own skilled workforce. In Iowa, we have been leading the nation for the past 4 years, a number of newly registered apprenticeship programs. So this administration gets it, businesses get it, more importantly, Iowans get it, that to build your skilled workforce, that the businesses are coming up and saying, we can train our people. The state has been very supportive in the funds that they have been giving to support registered apprenticeship. Home-based Iowa is another area that registered apprenticeship is really looking at. How do we support our veterans? Because registered apprenticeship is considered a post-secondary degree education. Actually, it's called the other 2 or 4 year degree without the debt. So our veterans are able to use their GI Bill benefits if they get into registered apprenticeship programs. And in Iowa, very quickly, we have the new youth program that's going on in Central Campus. We have IT registered apprenticeship programs. We have winemaker apprenticeship programs, advanced manufacturing programs. So there is an array of opportunities out there for individuals, men, women, women always looking to get more women in non-traditional occupations, and we're looking to expand into healthcare now. So registered apprenticeship is part of Future Ready Iowa. If we want to build a skilled workforce, it is the right thing to do, in my opinion. It's a smart thing to do, and we couldn't be more appreciative of the support that we get from this administration, registered apprenticeship, and for all Iowans and businesses. Thank you.
We'd open it up to questions. Greer, maybe you said this and I missed it, but we recently received a $1.8 million grant from the Department of Labor with the goal, I think, of doubling our apprenticeships and that we registered apprenticeships in 5 years. So we're excited about that. And 200,000 of that actually goes towards the pre-apprenticeship program that we'll be able to run through Future Ready Iowa and STEM Best. So I think, we're continuing to look for ways that we can build that out. And that's exciting that we were able to, in fact, I think it was one of the larger amounts of the dollars that were awarded across the nation. So I think Iowa has, correct me if I'm giving out any wrong statistics, but we have like 3% of the registered apprenticeships, and we're only like 1% of the population. So we are hitting above our average.
Absolutely.
Okay.
For Josh. So will you have the certificate by the time you graduate high school? Or you-
4-year
you have
program, I
for-
think.
Nah, it's a 2-year program. I get college credit, but I need to go on through my apprenticeship with Mid-American to get my certificate.
Okay, and tell us what's the welding is some real work. So what are you interested in?
I started welding when I was younger. I got into it because my grandpa was a welder, and when I was in the Scouts, I took a merit badge for it. So it kind of sparked my interest in it. It was fun. It's one of those moments where you think, yeah, this is kind of gives you some confidence knowing that you know how to do something that not a lot of people know how to do. So I looked for further knowledge in that, and I found Central Campus, and I've loved it ever since.
I think that's exciting. And you know what I liked that he said in his comments that I think is really important? That he's going to take that same skill and the advantage that he sees in participating in this program, and you're going to share that with younger generations. He is going to pay it forward. And that's really what the STEM Initiative and Future Ready Iowa is about. It's about making sure that students know that these opportunities exist, the quality careers that they are, and really a great salary. So it's a great career, a great salary that allows you to take care of a family and be successful right here in Iowa. So I really appreciated you saying that you would like to encourage other kids to get involved in that.
So how do you figure out what apprenticeships are developed? Do you work with business and industry and say, what do you need, or how do you go about doing that?
That's a good question. Because registered apprenticeship is employer driven, employers tell us what their needs are, and businesses come to the Office of Apprenticeship or call the Office of Apprenticeship, or they may contact Economic Development or Workforce Development, and then the Office of Apprenticeship will work with that employer. It's extremely easy process. We develop the standards of apprenticeship. So really, any employer who's interested in registered apprenticeship, they just need to contact someone in my office or one of the state agencies.
So do they pay a fee to do this, or is this something that's provided free?
It's provided free. Just to develop a registered apprenticeship program, that's all provided free. It's a very low cost training program as well for the employers. Because registered apprenticeship is a combination of on-the-job learning, which most of the learning happens on the job, also combined with the schooling part, and an apprentice is paid a lower wage than a skilled worker. They can take that money that they invest into their education, and that return on investment actually gets them at the end of their completion a skilled worker. So it's a very low cost employment training solution.
So are all of the young people paid something while they're in the apprenticeship center?
Yeah.
Actually, they're all paid. That is the very first requirement of registered apprenticeship. The apprentices are employees. So the apprentice is earning a paycheck from day one while they're learning that skill.
So that's why they come out with very little debt, because they're earning while they learn.
And how are the students then placed in these apprenticeship programs?
Do you want to talk to that?
While we're down at Central, there are a lot of people from different unions and apprenticeships that will come down and kind of watch us for the day. And by the end of the day, sometimes they say, I want that kid right there to work for me. They come down and they just
Like the real world, right?
Yep. They come down. If you've got what it takes, they look for that kind of stuff, and they'll hire you on the spot sometimes. It's all depending on how hard you work. It's basically, if they come down there and they see what they like, they just kind of grab you and say, hey, you want to work here? And
Yeah.
going out.
And then I think they decide. So that's when I talk about exposing students to the opportunities and making sure they understand what's available in the state of Iowa. One of the goals of the Future Ready Iowa initiative is to have a portal where all of that information is one spot. So if somebody likes to work with their hands or they want to be a welder, they like making things, they can go online, they can look at the various professions that involve that. And then they can kind of walk through the steps of, what's required. You could be an apprenticeship, a certification. What's the education or apprenticeship qualifications to have that job? What's the cost of that? And then this is what the return on investment is for that profession that you're going into. And then the final piece we hope to have on that is that, and by the way, here are companies all across the state of Iowa that can hire you tomorrow. So it's really that career pathway, that continuum that can help counselors, that can help parents, that can help students. Everybody take a look at what's available in the state of Iowa as far as a career or profession for students to go into.
I'm 18 years old and I'm a senior. Yeah.
Last year, too, as I had the opportunity for Registered Apprenticeship Week, the governor and I traveled all across Iowa and we visited with small businesses. And the feedback that we received was just phenomenal because they talked about they probably wouldn't have the opportunity to offer the registered apprenticeship programs without the funding that the state had put into it. And so we are seeing an impact. We are seeing it make a difference. And we certainly appreciate the partnership with the Department of Labor.
It's Greer Sisson, and I am the director with the Office of Apprenticeship in Iowa. Greer is my first name. Last name is Sisson, Sisson. Thank you.
And Greer, I can't thank you enough for your advocacy and really your partnership.
Yes.
Yeah. Anything else? Other questions?
Political question. When are you going to announce whether you're going to run for governor?
Well, it's not even been a week. And I tell you what, I am focused on serving Iowans, and I've spent a great deal of my life doing that. And so I'm excited about this next legislative session, and I'm excited to get back to work on behalf of Iowans. So as you've heard the governor and I say multiple times as we travel across the state and go to all 99 counties, that we're proud of what we've been able to do. We're proud of Iowa's story, but, we're not done yet. We've got a lot to do. So I'm looking forward to continuing to serve Iowans.
So are you going to sit down with the governor and talk about his future and any idea?
We're going to sit down with the governor and I and our team and our staff and legislators, and we're going to talk about putting an agenda together that will take Iowa to the next level. That's what we're going to be talking about.
What are some of the priorities that you and the governor would like to see addressed in the legislative session?
Well, we're going to take a look at everything. So it's not even been a week, and the governor's on a trade mission. He's trying to really build opportunities for our commodities to export and drive up our exports in the state of Iowa and look for reverse investment back in the state of Iowa. But what we're going to focus on is what we've been doing, but we want to take it to the next level. So we want to look for ways to grow the economy. We want to look for ways to make sure that every Iowan has an opportunity at a quality career. We want to continue to invest in our greatest asset, and that's our children, to make sure that they have an education or apprenticeship so that they can be successful and compete in a global economy. We want to make sure that Iowa gets healthy, because we know that that's the only way that we're going to control healthcare costs, is if we have some skin in the game and we're working on becoming healthier. And water quality, that was a priority of ours last year, and so that will continue to be a priority this year. But so that's big picture what we're looking at. We'll sit down and take a look at everything and then work with legislators and see how we continue to move the state forward.
Has the governor any discussion with the governor on the possibility of him not completing this current term that he's in?
No, listen, what does he say at almost every stop? You follow him. What does he end almost every sentence with? I'm proud of what we've done. We got a great story to tell, but we aren't done yet. So that tells me he's excited about Iowa's future. He can hardly wait to get back to work. And so we're looking forward to, like I said, working with the legislature and take Iowa to the next level.
He's been running for re-election.
I don't know what the governor is going to do. I bet he's going to, first of all, he's working on growing our, well, Bill, what it says is that the two of us are looking forward to setting down. Well, with our agencies, nobody does this alone. You put a great team together. We have a dynamite team. These directors of the various agencies, the governor's not a micromanager. He sets a large vision, and then he really gives them the flexibility to get out there and execute. And I am proud to say that our agencies have executed. And so we're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to work with the legislature and see what makes sense. We're going to have to take a look at what the December revenue estimating conference lays out. So that's what we build our budget on. So that could be somewhat restrictive on what our opportunities are moving forward. So all of that has to come into play when we take a look at next steps.
So he's been mentioned as a possible.
A lot of people have been.
The ambassador to China.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, he's in China right now.
I know. Laying the groundwork. No. No, he's got a great delegation there. I said it was agricultural focused, especially meat focused. We think there's some opportunities there, especially with the depressed agricultural commodity prices. We need to look for ways that we can build out our markets, to look for new markets, to look for opportunity to drive the prices up. So to help our farmers. So he.
Him going to China, that should not be interpreted as.
That was this. You know what?
Job as ambassador.
When we sit down every year, we work with the Department of Economic Development, and Debbie works with our team, and we talk about what makes the most sense. Where does Iowa have the most opportunity to, again, grow our economy, to increase our exports, to look for opportunities for reverse direct investment back into the state. So this has been set a long time before we even knew who was going to be the next president-elect of the United States. So we do that early on. My trade mission this year was to Argentina and Uruguay. So we're going to continue. We do that every year, and we'll continue to do that. And so that's why the governor's in China. Plus, he has a wonderful relationship with the president of China. And so they serve for 10 years. And this is an opportunity for us to take advantage of that and look for ways to build out additional markets for Iowa commodities.
Speaking of the president-elect, since he got elected, we've seen reports in our state, Iowa City, and Ames, just a couple more. People are kind of lashing out. In some cases, people of color, whether they're African Americans, whether they're Latinos. In Iowa City, there's a letter left on the person's front door, and it names it some other incidents. What is bringing this stuff up?
Well, first of all, it's happening on both sides. And, people have a right to protest, free speech, but they don't have a right to riot. And we need to treat everybody with dignity and respect. President-elect Trump called for that last night. He said for individuals to stop it. This is a divided country, and we need to look at how we can bring this country back together. And it's not about any one individual. It's about the direction of this country. And people need to work together. We're looking forward to sitting down and working with everybody and to really putting Iowans first to look for ways that we can move forward. So I think people just need to take a breath, and we just need to give him a chance. He had a great meeting with President Obama. I think that was scheduled to go 15 minutes, and it went much longer than that. But I think all of us have a responsibility. President Obama, Hillary Clinton, President-elect Donald Trump, our congressional delegation, we all have a responsibility to stand up and just say, everybody needs to take a breath. Let's take a look. We've had the election. It's over. And let's figure out how we move this country forward.
Back on the presidential election, I'd like to hear you comment on the fact that came very close to electing
Mhm.
actually won the popular vote. I have two questions for you. One is, I'd like for you to comment on your pessimism or optimism about electing a female president in the future. And two, do you feel like even though she didn't win, she's maybe pushed up against that glass ceiling?
Yeah. Well, she was the first woman elected to any party. And so that's a milestone. She's achieved a milestone. As I travel the state, I'm constantly encouraging young girls and women to think about not only running for office, but serving on a school board or serving on a nonprofit or getting involved. And so, that's how we're going to continue to get more women involved in the process. We're 53% of the electorate, and we're certainly not reflected when you look at the percentage of women serving, but it's growing, it's changing. We have, we've made great strides here in Iowa. We have the first woman Speaker of the House. We have the Speaker, President of the Senate was Pam Yocum. We have the first woman state auditor that's ever been elected. We just elected our first female to serve in Congress, and Senator Joni Ernst. And so we're making progress. And so I think you need to continue to stay engaged. And if you want to see something different, you have to be a part of the process.
Are you optimistic that in the next 4 years or 8 years,
Well,
or whatever, we'll have
I just, it needs to be, I'm not basing my decisions on gender. I think it's based on the individuals and the ideas. And this was a change election. The Americans spoke up and said that they're tired of the status quo. They didn't feel like they were being heard. They were looking for something different. They wanted an opportunity to have a career. They wanted an economy that was growing. They were, the security, they were fearful of their security. And I think were afraid that their children wouldn't have the same opportunities that they had, especially when we looked at debt. So this was a change election. It was about changing the direction of the country. And I think really just Americans felt like they weren't being heard. And so I think that's more what it was about the direction of the country.
So when you say there was this change election, if more people voted for Hillary than voted for
We have a process, and it's the Electoral College. And so he won the election. We need to focus on this, and we need to really focus on the future, focus on getting this country back on track. This is a working class America that just felt like the system wasn't working for them. And so they want an opportunity to succeed, and they want an opportunity at the American dream.
Sorry, I want to shift gears very quickly.
Okay.
November 1st, I think it was, the governor he released a statement saying that Iowa is in the top 10 for mental health care. Florida police are telling us that they are basically having to cover for the closing of the Clarendon Institute, because now they, instead of having mental health hospital to take care of the mental health patients, instead of having to have all of their officers at the hospital attending to these patients individually, because there's nowhere for them to go. And so they're feeling as though they are having to take on that need instead. And we're hearing that a lot, that because of the closing of these mental health institutes, that other people are having to take the cost. It's not making those costs.
Yeah, well, part of the reason that it was closed was that they hadn't been accredited and they didn't have a licensed psychiatrist. So that was part of the reason. And when you look at the statistics and who they were serving in the system, that doesn't line up. But the fact of the matter is that since we passed the health and wellness program, we have 150,000 more Iowans that are receiving mental health coverage. We've invested over $300 million new dollars into the system. We've got a bed tracking system for the first time ever. We've gone from individual counties to really a statewide delivery system that it's ran at the state but delivered locally. There were people that were very, very apprehensive about going to a regional system instead of the 99 counties, especially a lot of your county, your board of supervisors. But since we've done it, they've been very happy with the system. Is it perfect? No. And we're continuing to work every single day with looking at how we enhance the system. We have a bed tracking system. We didn't have that before, so that if everybody participates in it, right now it's voluntary. So we've got a good percentage of people that are participating in it. That will help the individuals know where the beds are at. And on an average, I think there's like 90 to 100 beds that are open every single day. Now, that criteria sometimes shifts based on what the facility, how they're referring to those beds being open. But the fact of the matter is there are beds open, and we just need to look at the system and figure out how we do more community-based service. The regions are starting to build that out, so I think there's some opportunity there.
Two things to that. So, but I mean, if the bed is on the other side of the region, then it doesn't make a difference if the bed's open.
But-
They can't get to it then. And second of all, but what do we say to those police officers who are having to absorb the cost and absorb the burden?
Well, we need to continue to look at the system. We've made a lot of progress. We have more people covered. We're building out the infrastructure and the network. We're seeing in the regions, and we can maybe get you some of that information, community-based. So we're starting to see that be developed in the regions across the state. That will bring it closer. then that will help keep them from having to travel the state to get to an open bed. But we're working on that. We're working with the providers. We continue to make progress. You know, it took a long time even to go get the health and wellness program passed. There was a lot of fear. There was a lot of people were nervous about change, and it's actually been the right thing to do. I mean, we have more people covered than we had before. We've put more money into the system. With the managed care, we're looking at ways that we can help holistically coordinate the care for individuals. That's really important too. So we're making progress. It's not perfect, but we're going to continue to work with communities. We're going to continue to work with the regions to figure out how we best serve Iowans that need the services.
Brianne?
Had a pretty decisive victory here this past week in Iowa. So I'm wondering how you and the governor interpret the mandate of voters and how you'll translate that into how that issue start addressing your agenda.
Well, we're going to sit down, like I indicated earlier, and we're going to take a look at all of the opportunities. We're going to continue to build on what we've done over the last 6 years. We're looking forward to working with an administration that would be a partner, I think, that would look at more money coming back into the states so that we have an opportunity to make those decisions. I think, you know, the one size fits all doesn't work. And so this is an opportunity for us through individual states to make those decisions based on what's best for Iowans. So I'm optimistic about the opportunity. I'm looking forward to getting back to work and working with all legislators on behalf of Iowans. Thank you.
Yes.